how to save $1,000. When getting started on your personal finance journey or your debt-free journey, $1,000 is going to be one of the first and largest accomplishments that you'll make as far as getting your financial report card in order. Just seeing those 4 digits in a savings account, in an emergency fund, or towards whatever goal that you want to pursue is very liberating, because to me, it gives you the confidence that you can actually accomplish what it is that you are trying to achieve. So in this video, I'm going to go over some of the tips and tricks I got when I was trying to save my first $1,000. I actually did this back in college when I was making less than $900 a month. So I know that if I could do it way back then you definitely could do it today if you put some of these tips into practice. So if we haven't met already, my name is Anfernee McLemore. I make videos about personal finance, investing, and side hustles. And go ahead and tap that like button for your boy if you think you'll find any kind of value in this video. If you don't, it don't matter. Sit back and get ready to hear some of these tips how to save $1,000. And I think that the first tip that you should know is to have a clear goal in mind. So many times, if you're trying to achieve any sort of goal, not even money related, but just any goal in life in general, having clarity is the first step to actually achieving that goal. I take a lot of my tips back to me starting this YouTube channel. Back when I first started this YouTube channel, I said that I just wanted to make videos. I didn't know what I wanted the videos to be about, but I just knew I wanted to make videos. So in the very beginning, I was making videos about vlogs, telling college stories, and personal finance. But when I actually stepped back and got some clarity and said that, okay, I actually want to make personal finance and side hustle videos. This is how I want my videos to look. This is how much time I want to spend editing my videos. And that led me to setting up a system into where I could implement all of the things that I had planned. So if you keep that same idea in mind when you're trying to save your first $1,000, I think that the best goal that you can make is not only the amount of the $1,000, but also of the timeline that is realistic that you can actually achieve it. And so if you're like me and you're making less than $1,000 a month and you want to save $1,000 in 1 month, obviously that will be a little bit unrealistic. But if you set your timeline to maybe 6 months from now, then you can start to set a plan in motion of how you can save about $200 a month so that you can get that $1,000 in your emergency fund. And the reason why I also think that that first $1,000 is so important to have an emergency fund is that it gives you some financial security. It allows you to breathe a little bit in the grand scheme of things, so that if anything comes up like a flat tire, like an emergency, like a car wreck, you don't have to worry about coming out of your paycheck to pay the deductible, because you already have that saved for a rainy day. Maybe our grandmothers was right when they told us to put money aside for things like that. And I am definitely an advocate of having a $1,000 emergency fund. I actually would recommend that you have 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund, which could be anywhere depending on your expenses to $12,000 to $20,000. But just getting started, if you are new on your financial journey, $1,000 is definitely the place to start. And after you have some clarity and you set your goal, the next thing that I want you to do is to create a budget. Creating a budget doesn't have to be as difficult as financial gurus make it seem. I personally have been using the same budget style for the last 5 years, and it is just an Excel spreadsheet that lists all of my income on one side and all of my expenses on the other side. I do like to fiddle around with my budget a little bit just to try to squeeze as much money out of it as I possibly can. But if you're someone who doesn't like the idea of maintaining where the money goes because it seems that it'll add more stress to your life, just use personal finance / budgeting apps like Mint, Personal Capital. Anything that can track your expenses automatically will be pretty good, just so you can know where your money is going. I've personally looked into Dave Ramsey Every Dollar budgeting app, which honestly seems like a pretty good option for most people because it is free and it does provide the same benefit that a lot of the apps do regardless. But whatever budgeting app that you choose, it is just important that you know where your money is going and where it is coming from. Because if you know where your money is coming from, that allows you to be able to be consistent with how much money that you are making or how much money that you plan on budgeting, and then also allows you to see exactly if you can reach your targeted goal within the timeline. Also, by creating your budget, it will allow you to see if you have any unnecessary subscriptions that you need to cancel, such as services like Netflix that you don't watch, maybe some gym memberships, maybe some hotel Wi-Fi that you've been paying for. And if you're only looking at your total account balance and you never actually diving into the transaction on a monthly basis, you probably will find some areas where you are spending money on things that you don't use or you don't need, or services that you don't even receive. This was the case with me, unfortunately, here recently when I found out that I was paying $50 a month for contact that was being shipped to a previous address. Honestly, I don't know how I missed it. It only happened for a month or two when I actually went to renew my subscription. But Hubble Contacts, I definitely will be calling you soon to cancel those subscriptions and to maybe get reimbursed for the contacts that I never received. Just a heads up. However, if you're trying to save $1,000 in 90 days, like the title of this video says, then I would definitely recommend making some more drastic changes in your personal financial life. And although a lot of these things don't have to be done for a lifetime of done every single day, one thing that I would focus on in the first 90 days if you're trying to save $1,000 is to cook at home. Cooking at home could save you a lot of money, especially if you are shopping at a cheap rate. When I meal prep my meals, I don't necessarily try to make the cheapest meal prep possible, but because I use ingredients in bulk like rice and chicken and vegetables like broccoli that come in pretty big sizes, I tend to spend probably less than $2 a serving $1 on all of the meal preps that I make at home. And for me, it's more about convenience than saving money on my lunch. But by cooking at home and meal prepping those meals instead of going out to McDonald's every time I get hungry, I'm probably saving $6 to $8 comparatively that I would be spending if I went out to eat every day. And you really got to think that with trying to save $1,000 in 90 days, the only thing that you need to do is find a way to save $11.11 every single day. If you can save $11.11 by the 90th day, you would have $1,000. And cooking at home and canceling subscriptions can definitely already get you there if you eat out a lot, or at least get you a lot of progress along the way. I don't know if I'm going to put $11.11 in the thumbnail of this video. I haven't decided yet, but it just came to me that that is a very great way to think about it if you are trying to save money quickly. But I think that one of the best ways that you can save $11.11 without changing your current lifestyle is just by making more money by picking up a side gig. And I would say that of the few gig apps that I have tried here on the channel in my series called Side Hustle Saturday, gig apps probably won't be the best way to have consistent revenue in order to pay rent or to pay utilities, because the time commitment that it requires is a lot. Gig apps like Lyft put a lot of miles on your car that you have to save for maintenance for and even tire repairs. But I would definitely say that if you have a specific goal that you're trying to reach in mind, or if you're just trying to make a specific amount of money and you're not trying to make it an ongoing thing, then definitely trying gig apps like Lyft and Uber would be a great way to make money. One of the videos that I made in the past few weeks, I made over $300 driving for Lyft. While I didn't have to drive all day Friday and Saturday to make that $300, if you did that once a month for 3 months, you would be able to save $1,000. But keep in mind that in order to get a more accurate view of how the expenses work when you're driving for things like Lyft, I would give that video a watch, because I do go through the expenses like gas, maintenance, other expenses that come with driving for Lyft. But all in all, I definitely think that I could make $11.11 profit every single day if that was my goal, to save $1,000 in 90 days. But if you're not too keen on trying to make more money, then the next option that you can do to save $1,000 in 90 days is to try to spend less money. And one creative way that I found to do that is to implement this thing called the 30-day rule. And what the 30-day rule states that before making any non-essential purchase, any purchase that you do not need in your life right now, that you wait at least 30 days before making that purchase. So this could be that if you want new AirPods or if you want new Beats, you wait 30 days before you make that purchase, and you decide that after the 30 days if you still need that thing. What this does is that it eliminates the impulsiveness from buying something that you may see on the shelf while wandering through a store, and it also allows you to think about whether or not you really need it. An example that happened to me in the past was that I wanted to buy one of the Mr. Beast tech gadgets called a backbone. And a backbone is basically like a PS4, PS5 controller that you can hook up to your phone to play video games, because I was playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy at the time. Now, I am by no means a big video gamer. I rarely play the game, but I was playing Hogwarts Legacy, and I thought that it would be convenient in order to play it on my phone whenever I felt inclined to do so. But what I decided to do is I decided to wait 30 days before buying the backbone, and lo and behold, I had beat the entire Hogwarts Legacy game within those 30 days, and I never picked up a controller again. So when I got the alert on my phone that it was time to reevaluate whether or not I want to buy the backbone, I realized that I didn't need it and I would have no use for it whatsoever. So that is just one of the benefits of having a 30-day rule, especially if you are extremely impulsive, because it allows you to really evaluate if you need the things that you are thinking about buying. But a lot of this is all about self-control. You have to have self-control in order to make these changes. And if you have little self-control, I would definitely recommend that you automate your finances so that you automatically send $11.11 to your savings account every single day. Now, if you can't necessarily afford to do this, then I would say that this is the best idea. But if you are someone who has money in their bank account, and when you have money in your bank account, you are inclined to spend it because you see a large balance, then go ahead and set up an automatic contribution of $11.11 every single day, or $300 a month to your savings account, so that you can pay yourself first and reach your goals. A lot of times we as humans like to save whatever is left over after we spend all that we want to spend. Whatever peanuts we have left in our account, that's what goes in the savings, and we don't necessarily prioritize it, because who wants to think about the future when we can live today? While that is a very valuable sentiment in many cases, if you are thinking about the future and if you want to make sure that you have money in the future, go ahead and pay yourself first and spend the peanuts that are left over after you pay yourself. That way that your financial future is secure, you have all your bills paid, and you know exactly how much money you can have fun with after you get done doing the responsible thing. I personally don't automate my savings. I'm going to be honest and say that, because I like to cross off when I make the payments, when I invest the money, so that I can visually get that dopamine boost when I make those transactions. I like it when I save money or when I invest money, and I like being physically responsible for that. The only thing that I do actually keep on autopilot is tithing to the church, because I want to make sure that is done on the first of every month, and that is just something that I like to get automatically taken out. However, the next thing that you can do to save $1,000 in 90 days or implement the $11.11 rule is to have 2 no spend days every single week. And on no spend days, these are going to be days where you don't spend any money whatsoever. You don't get gas, you don't buy food. You physically do not let any money leave your account by any means. And if you know that you have a no spend day coming up, that is going to force you to plan better. That is going to force you to prioritize certain things in your life. And also it's just going to force you to think more carefully about how you spend your money. Now, obviously with a no spend day, if you run out of gas, you will have to spend money on gas. But the purpose of the no spend day is that it forces you to plan and to think ahead. If your no spend day is on a Wednesday, then you know you got to get gas on a Tuesday so that you don't spend money on a Wednesday. And all day Wednesday, because it is your no spend day, you have to have the self-control to not eat out on the way home from work or not go to a bar that day and spend some unnecessary money. All of these things don't have to be done for a lifetime, but when done for a short period of time, such as 90 days, it will definitely allow you to save your first $1,000 in 90 days. And once you do have your $1,000 saved, don't keep it somewhere where it's highly visible so that you spend it as soon as you get it. What I do is that I keep my emergency fund in a high yield checking account that is separate from my main bank account so that it is somewhere where I know that it is safe, but it's not constantly in my face so that I am tempted on spending it. I am not immune to human nature. I am not immune to temptation, so that I know that if I see a large sum of money just sitting there waiting to be spent, I would be more likely to spend it if it's not invested somewhere. So that is something to keep in mind after you do achieve your goal. But with all that being said, if you found any kind of value in this video, then tap the like button for your boy and also subscribe if you want to see more content like this. If you do want to see more content like this, then I'm making videos like this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and every Saturday I am releasing a Side Hustle Saturday video where I am trying to make $10,000 exclusively doing side hustles. I am also keeping track of this channel's journey to 100,000 subscribers on TikTok, so if you want to see a behind the scenes of how I make this channel work, how I make my videos, and how I plan my videos on a weekly basis, then go over to TikTok and check that out, as I will have that link in the description below. However, if you do decide to subscribe, then I will see you in the next one, guys.